Hey, I'm Alex with House of Shaves Barbershop, and today I'm going to show you how to do a head shave the easy way. So if you're struggling with head shaves, this video is for you. How you doing today, sir?
Doing great, thanks.
So we're just doing a head shave today?
Yep.
And so we're taking all this down with the razor, nice and smooth, nothing left behind, no stubble or anything.
Perfectly bald.
So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the steam machine, and this isn't necessary, but it is gonna help make the shave a lot smoother by keeping the skin hydrated. This step would really help you. So first I'm gonna take it down. The reason we take this hair down first is because we have to have the hair pretty short in order for that shaver to grab it and get it nice and smooth. Otherwise, it'll just tug and pull. So notice when I'm using the clipper, I'm going over this a section, and then I'm doing overlapping sections. This is gonna help ensure that I don't miss any hairs, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the straight razor when I'm shaving so that we don't leave any hairs behind. Try to be very careful around the ears because you can catch this skin with the trimmer or the clippers. You don't have to use clippers like this. I just find that they're much faster, but you can do the same step with just regular clippers or trimmers. The idea is to just get it as short as possible before you use the shaver. So now that that hair is taken down nice and short, I'm going to transition to my foil shaver, which is going to take all of this hair down basically to the skin. So I'm going to set these down. I'm going to put a link to all this stuff in the description so you guys don't have to worry about writing it down. But you're just going to use this now, both foils, holding it this way most of the time, and it's going to take this hair down all the way down to the skin. It should be nice and smooth and ready for when we start to use the straight razor. So when I'm working in tight spots, I will flip it over and just use a single foil like this. Once you've gotten past those areas, you want to flip it over and use both foils to get more work done. Always stretching the skin, because remember, this is a razor. It's an electric razor, but with anytime you're shaving, you want to stretch the skin. You could even stretch when you're using the clippers or the trimmers to help them cut smoother and closer. So you see here, you can see the difference between what the clippers did and what the shaver did. That line there, that's the difference. So this is almost smooth, this is stubble, and that's the difference between just leaving a little bit of stubble and going all the way down the skin. And then when I use the straight razor, it's gonna take this down even further. Another thing to keep in mind, this being a razor, you want to stretch the skin, but you also don't want to go too crazy with the pressure, because again, it's a razor. So if you push down too hard with the shaver, you can irritate the client's skin. So you want to use the lightest amount of pressure possible to get the job done. And if you do have a foil razor at home, you should always check the foils every now and then, because if there's even one little hole in the foil, that could lead to clients. You could cut your client, you could cut yourself. So if the foil is damaged, change it with a new one. The shaver does a really good job of getting the hair that's right at the skin, But the razor, the straight razor, actually takes off like the top few layers of the skin. So when you combine both of them, you end up getting a much smoother shave, in my opinion. So this is when barbers are starting with us and they aren't comfortable with head shaves. We always tell them to do this step that I'm doing right now. And that's it for that part of the service. Look okay so far?
Yeah.
It's getting shinier. I'm gonna turn that steam machine back on. So I'm gonna take some of this beard oil, and that's gonna be my pre-shave. I'm just gonna put that all over his scalp, and that's gonna help his skin from drying out. So just be very generous with this. because the skin's probably going to soak up some of it. Now I'm going to take my shave gel and I'm going to put that all over the head. Now I'm going to grab a towel, wrap it around his head, and let that hair soften up for a little bit. These are the razors that I use, Dorcos, they're very inexpensive. So I always start in the back like I mentioned, because that's where the hair is the thickest. And then when we're starting in the back, once the back is done, we're going to start working outwards in an umbrella pattern like this, because this is usually how the direction the hair grows in. So we're going to shave with the grain. Anytime you're shaving, always stretch the skin. All the way down, and we'll typically stop just right above or right below the client's collar line. And notice when I'm shaving, I'm never more than a few inches away from my thumb. You shave a little patch and then you move your thumb down. You shave, then move down. So if you're newer to shaving, I would definitely recommend you having the blade flat on the client's skin like this, because that really decreases the chances of cutting the client. But as you get more advanced, you definitely want to transition to more of a 45-degree angle, just like this, because that gets the blade to cut a little bit closer. So always make sure you get behind the ears. Anytime you're doing this close on the scalp, whether it's a skin fade, a head shave, always make sure you don't leave any hairs behind the ears. I'm going to work on this area now, being careful to avoid this spot that was mentioned earlier. I'm not just applying shaving cream right now. I'm trying to be mindful of feeling if there's anything there. And if there is, you would want to uncover it just so that way you don't go over it with the razor. Take a look and see if it looks good to you. I'm gonna grab some of that talcum powder. When I went to the barber shop when I was young, and I remember smelling the cologne from this.
Yeah, man. Yep, that's the smell.
All right, man, you are good to go. Appreciate you coming in today.
That was great, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
We'll see you next time, okay? Appreciate you coming in. Thank you.